in all your travels and speeches, I know much of it gets small p into the politics because that's the world we're in. Do you get much chance, because obviously no one could follow you around, they wouldn't last. Do you get much chance to expand on the beauties of the culture? I'm thinking of poetry and music and things of this nature. The other side of the academic, the things that sometimes, they sing to the human spirit.
I do. I mean, that's one of the reasons that I was so motivated to continue the lectures, because we actually put together a sequence of tours. We didn't plan 160 cities in one go. I mean, it sort of unfolded.
It's only you and Bono left.
Yeah. Well, it unfolded across time, because they were so popular, and the popularity didn't seem to be waning. But it was an opportunity to put forward the case for all the wonderful things that we've done, and to express gratitude and amazement at the fact that, our city, this city, Toronto, this city works is, for me, and I think this is partly because I've been sensitized so much to the catastrophes of existence in sort of the collective and the personal sense, is that when I go outside and everything works and there's all these people of different colors and creeds and religions walking down the street and it's all peaceful and the lights go on regularly and the power is always working and everything technological is 100% reliable and there's no riots in the street, and the probability that you're going to meet with an untimely and painful death at the hands of someone else is almost nil, and that we live for such a long time. All of this to me is a complete, it's a complete miracle. It truly is. And I remind people of the unlikelihood of that constantly in the lectures and ask them to be grateful for the fact that, I mean, you look 100 years ago in 1919, you just think of what you would have been through in the last 6 years, right? The Russian Revolution, the First World War, the Spanish influenza, just absolute bloody, hellish catastrophe, one after the other.
The conception of Nazism was brewing then too.
Right. The seeds of the next catastrophe were already at work.
They were.
And also, of course, the same thing with the Russian Revolution, which was bloody enough to begin with, but which certainly accelerated in its brutality as it expanded. And we don't have any of that at the moment. It's actually, the world is more peaceful than it's ever been. There's no wars in the Western Hemisphere. That's the first time since the coming of Columbus that the entire Western Hemisphere is free of conflict.
I see frequently on your various sites that you do list up, and that's another great counter. The environmental crowd, and I don't take them as being pure either. Some of them are, obviously, most of them are not. They're always having a spectacular, at the high table, a catastrophe. The world is ending tomorrow. This is the worst we'll ever be. We're destroying the planet. You point out very frequently that certain of the technologies, certain of the advances of the civilization have lifted people out of poverty. They put them into new situations. We have relieved more suffering in some cases, maybe not more than we have caused, but it's a different century. We should be grateful for things. Gratitude is in short supply.
Yes. Well, it's completely absent among the collectivists and the people who play identity politics. There's no gratitude at all, and it's so interesting. It's so interesting to me to see that, because, let's say, the professors who lead those movements, they are the most protected people who've ever lived. Right? It's like they're standing on a hill and around them is a wall and it's 4 feet away, and around them, that wall is another wall that's 4 feet away, and another wall and another wall, and there's just sequential walls, and at this edge of the sequential walls is a huge army, and it's powerful. And all of that protects them, absolutely. And they say everything is corrupt and going to hell, And there's just no sense of gratitude whatsoever, and that's appalling to me, because it's so unlikely to occupy a position like that, and the proper response, although criticism is necessary, obviously. Criticism means, well, this is wrong and this is how we could fix it. It doesn't mean tear everything down and leave people with nothing. And that certainly happens to people in universities now. They come in barely formed, and they leave
ill-formed.
They leave in tatters.